Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my September book haul. I have about 6 books that I hauled in the month of September that I would love to share with you guys. And without further ado, let's just get into this. The first 2 books that I picked up in the month of September is the Witherwood series by Obert Sky. If you have watched any of my videos previous to this one, you will know that I have already read book 1, which is just Witherwood Reform School. Book number 2 is Lost and Found, Witherwood Reform School. And I'm hoping to read this for my month of October TBR, but we'll see if that happens. Not quite sure. But anyways, I decided to pick these up. There's only 2 in this series so far. I'm guessing there's gonna be more in the series. I'm not quite sure. I haven't researched it enough. But these are the only 2 that were available at the moment. This is about 2 siblings who are a little mischievous. Their dad decides to punish them and drop them off at this Witherwood Reform School. And lo and behold, as he's driving away, he gets in an accident and he has lost his memory. He doesn't remember that he's got children. And so his children are trying their best to get away from this school because weird things keep happening. There's lots of weird creatures that keep following them. A lot of secrets are being held. Kids are locked in their rooms at night. They can hear weird things, and kids are just like kind of brainwashed and foggy headed. So half the time they don't even make sense. And so it is their journey, these 2 siblings, trying to get away from Witherwood Reform School, as well as try saving everyone else and hopefully get in contact with their dad. I picked it up because actually my 4th grader, for his class, they started reading the very first book in the month of September. And I decided, because I'm one of those creepy, crazy moms that likes to read what my kids are reading, so that's why I decided to pick these up, and I'm kind of glad I did. Okay, if you hear gurgling noises or weird, creepy zombie noises, it's my bulldog Walter chewing on his toy right here. Like, we have this entire big house, but you know, mom's right here, so he's got to do it right here. So, I mean, it creates a really good October ambiance to have like zombie noises going on, but if you hear anything strange, it's okay. It's just my dog. He's just chewing away on his bone. Sometimes it sounds so disgusting though. The next book that I picked up in the month of September is, of course, the continuation of the Flavia Turton series that I have been reading over the last probably 6 months now by Alan Bradley. As Chimney Sweepers Come to Dust. This is book 7, 8? I think it's 7. I don't know, there's like 9 out right now. And so I've been slowly trying to gradually build up my series, and this is just, I love the way Alan Bradley has these books. Like, they are so pretty on my bookshelf, even as paperbacks. I love them. Like, as you can see, so these are all of the other books before this one. So they're like this green, purple, yellow, red, blue, or like the colors just stand out so good on my bookshelf. I love them. Anyways, if you've watched any of my other wrap-ups that I've done in the past, you'll know that I am like on book 4 or 5 now of the Flavia Turton series, and it is about this 11-year-old girl who is kind of obsessed with solving mysteries and murders keep happening around her and in her English kind of town, and she's just this witty, sassy little Sherlock Holmes in a sense, and every book just gets better and better and better. I love the series, highly recommend it. This one still has the wrapping on it because it's one of like Barnes & Noble's like leather bound books. I collect those as well, if you weren't aware. As you can see, like my bookshelf here, like this whole middle row is nothing but like Barnes & Noble leather bounds. Okay, so I decided to pick up, because this just came out in the month of September, or maybe it was August, but I picked it up in September, and it is A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. If you don't know what this book is about or have not watched the movie, then obviously you lived under a rock, but it is a classic, and it's beautiful when it comes in these beautiful Barnes & Noble leather-bound editions. And I do kind of need to break up the pieces, but look at the inside. How cool is that? Oh, it's on both sides. And some of the artwork that they do in these Barnes & Noble books are freaking amazing. I love them. They're like just old history kind of books. Anyways, I have never read A Journey to the Center of the Earth, but I did watch the movie like when I was a kid, and I vaguely remember it, and it was like the 80s, so the graphics were terrible and all that. Have they made a newer version of this? Like recently? Because I feel like with our CGI nowadays, they can make this pretty badass. But maybe I'm living under a rock and I don't remember that they've released a newer movie. If they have, let me know. The next book that I picked up in the month of September is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I have seen this plastered all over YouTube all summer long, and I kept putting it off. I'm like, you know, I really want to read it, but I don't have time to spend, or I don't have money to spend on it. And anyways, I had a $50 gift card to Barnes & Noble, so I did buy it online. And I'm excited. So this is about a young girl, I think she's about 17. Of course, you can tell it's more of like a Viking-esque book, and I'm guessing she's your awesome protagonist. Anyway, she's about 17 years old. She's constantly in battle. She's constantly fighting for her life. Her clan is always up against this other Viking clan, and lo and behold, one day while she is in the middle of battle with this rivalry, she sees her brother fighting for the other side, yet her brother died like 5 years ago. Something weird's going on there. So lots of things, of course, I'm sure are going to ensue. I can't wait to get into this and see what kind of adventures and just betrayal and twists and turns that this book will bring. And the fact that it's a Viking kind of book, I wish there was more of these. Like, this just sounds fascinating to me. I love the Viking era, and I love the whole, like, girls in Viking era time just seemed so badass, and so to like read this just seems, I can't wait. Super excited. He sounds so disgusting. The next book that I picked up in the month of September is called The Radium Girls by Kate Moore. This is a nonfiction true story about women back in the 1920s that were in these certain factories, such as watchmakers, and they would paint the dials for watches, and certain other industries that radium became a huge substance that they used in the 1920s during like the First World War. And when it first became used as a substance for painting and lotions and makeup and things like that, they didn't really realize how toxic this stuff was. And so this is about these girls, women in the industries that became ill over time from radium poisoning, and how the radium companies tried to cover it up. And Kate Moore took many, many years to go into archives, go into Ancestry.com, follow the families of the past relatives that had gone through radium poisoning, and how these women were painted as these amazing workers, but their complaints and their, you know, trying to get a settlement done from their employers, because technically they were poisoned and everything was kind of swept under the rug, covered up. And she was able to dive into archives and find so many testimonials that were just collecting dust. Lots of diaries, families' stories of how these women died or how they suffered. And it just sounds like an amazing, amazing book. I cannot wait to get into this. My mother-in-law is the one that actually gave it to me. She also has a copy, and so we are going to try buddy reading this together. I kind of heard of something like this, but this is the first real book that's ever been told from the story of, like, from the women themselves. There's plays out there that I think are like in Britain, and other areas where they do like monologues and plays and skits and stuff that kind of talk about the Radium Girls, but it's very, I wouldn't say biased, but it's very vague. And Kate Moore decided that's what inspired her. She had watched one of these plays on the Radium Girls, which is called like The Light is Shining or something like that. And she decides no one is talking about the actual story of the girls, like how they grew up, how excited they were for their first lucrative paycheck from these employers, and then come to find out over time they started to get ill and everyone had different symptoms from the next, but nobody really talks about it. It's not really in our history books, and this is what it is. So I am so excited to get into this. I can't wait. It is quite large, but I know most of it in the very back, like a good chunk of it, is just her going through each chapter and just pretty much annotating and noting like where she got stuff from, where she picked up, who quoted this, who did this. And so, I mean, the history into this is astounding. And then the work that she put into it sounds so amazing. I can't wait to get into it. Let's do this. All right, guys, that is it for my September book haul. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping to spit out another video here in the next couple of days, which I want to do the Spookathon that is happening between October 15th and like October 20th, or I don't know, it's like a 5 to 7 day thing in the next week. So I'm hoping to kind of like get participating in that with many of you. I'm excited because it's all about thrillers and reading spooky books, and it's October and I'm all about that. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys in my next video, and I will see you later. Bye.